What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, last night, in a nail biter, we were able to pull off the victory, defeating the Toronto Raptors in overtime. Uh, and it's a lot to be said about this game that I don't think people are really recognizing now. Uh, we defeated them 104-101, okay, and we're up 3-0, all right? And quite possibly it may be a gentleman's sweep. Now, I'm going to point some things out to you that I think people aren't really recognizing or really looking at, and maybe it'll make sense to you once I point it out. Now, look, I want to give props first and foremost to Doc Rivers. Okay, the reason being is because Doc Rivers, he's coaching his ass off right now. I got to give him props. Uh, we had a lot of we had a lot of calls that again that didn't go our way, and then we got a lot of bullshit calls too as well. One in particular that I was very very disgusted with the officiating is when Joel Embiid had got the block, and it was clearly all ball on that play, and they still called a foul on him, and he picked up his third foul. Okay, that right there was, that needs to be looked at. Okay, now the goaltending, I do understand about that. It was even though it was a great block, but what's his name? Boy, I always have trouble pronouncing the name. Anaboy, I call him Attaboy, but Ananaboy, Ananabi, sorry. He had got the block on Harden or whatnot. Toronto had played a great game. Okay. Uh, Another boy, he led off scores. He had 26. Fred Van Fleet, he had 12. Gary Trent Jr., man, who I talked about, who I just had the brother Ticket TV on. We don't win at it about Gary Trent Jr., but Gary Trent Jr., he had 24. And Siakam had 12. And Achua had 20. On our end, Joel Embiid, he had 33 points and 13, including hitting the shot that pretty much had sealed the deal. Uh, Tyrese Maxey, okay, 19, 19 points. James Harden, he had 19 and 10. And Tobias Harris had 11 points to go along with 12 rebounds as well. Okay. Uh, and another person that was very important. He was important. He was making some Ginobili like mistakes, but he was very important with Danny Green. And so let me talk about the reason why Tyrese Maxey is making Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, and James Harden look good because he is our scoring punch when you can't turn to anyone else. Okay, usually that was Tobias Harris. Doc Rivers finally is figuring out that okay, Harden, and to be honest with you, Harden, I'm gonna just be real. He's just in the way. Look, he fouled out. Okay, and I felt like I kind of wanted Harden to foul out because I wanted my point to be proven to show people that he is just holding Maxey up. Listen, Maxey is gonna make his mistakes. Okay. Yeah, you're saying. Listen, you're saying MVP, MVP, Albuquerque Turkey. But listen, he doesn't do that on a listen, okay, was he efficient? Yeah. But you're not recognizing who is the most important one during that scoring drive. Maxey was playing the defense. Maxey was hitting key shots. Maxey was distributing the ball where it needed to go. Maxey was giving hustle and effort out on defense. You're just looking at the shot, and that's why he's making Embiid look good. Okay, yeah, he hit the shot down the stretch, but the first shot in which he missed, he didn't need to. Even the announce they had said it. The commentators had said it. Why the hell you sitting out there going for threes when you could have drove the ball in? And listen, he had been getting the calls the whole night. But see, that's the thing about Joel Embiid. He wants to sit out there and hit threes. Yeah, it went in, but what if he would have missed it? Meanwhile, you got a solid guy in Maxey that understand. What's up with it, Think Tank? I see you in the building. ATL representing. What's up with it, Stephen Green? I see you in the building. Listen, I've been telling people about Maxey. Everybody wants to talk all this Harden nonsense. Oh yeah, Harden and Embiid. No, it's Maxey. Maxey is the future of our team. Yes, it was a brilliant shot, and he played good down the stretch. In Embiid, that's what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. You're already an established individual in this league. Maxey is growing, and he listen. Let me tell you why. Also, Maxey had a taste of what it was like last season. Okay, he had a taste of what it was like last season to be put, his foot be put to the fire, so to speak, when he was in Atlanta and everything. And when things weren't going so good, they took Ben Simmons out. Guess what? Guess who was guarding Trae Young? It was Tyrese Maxey. Guess who was out there? Man, didn't hardly had a lick of playing time even before that. Guess what? They threw Maxey out there. So Maxey loves the pressure. Maxey makes smart decisions. He makes some boneheaded decisions sometimes, without a doubt, but that's his youth. And as a point guard, you're gonna make your little mistakes or whatever. You said that's what talking about. Maxey is going right in front of our eyes. Embiid is rising to the occasion. I'm gonna comment on that in just a second. I can't stand Honey Bun Hard and exposed. Yeah, I know, man. I know Think Tank, man. I know what you're saying. Uh, you said 76ers got the series in the bag. Well, look, I understand that. I understand what you're saying, Stephen. And look, we have it, but I'm not pleased about, honestly, the way that we don't have cohesiveness. We need Harden on the court. Now, I got to say something else too. Maxey, a combination of Maxey and Tobias Harris are bringing Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was making an effort on defense. I got to give Joel Embiid. He's actually moving, and see, that's the difference between him and Jokic. He's at least Embiid is trying to be more mobile. Okay, on defense or whatever, and he was even out there guarding on the perimeter at times. So I give Embiid his props, but just a dumb decision by Harden to foul out like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting your team at risk. Not only everybody talks about, oh yeah, well Harden, he has a good a good stat line and all this other stuff. Yeah, but is it equating the wins? Is it equating the wins? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's what you got to ask yourself. Look, I'm while I'm happy that we won and everything. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna rest because we all know if Toronto had some size on them because we barely won. That's the thing about it. We barely won. That's the thing. And a lot of people feel like the Raptors are sleepovers. No, they're not. They're not sleepovers. I mean, sorry about that. They're not to be slept on. And what you also have to realize is that regardless of what anybody wants to think, Fred Van Fleet, he's a champion. Siakam, he's a champion. Nick Nurse, he done been there. You know, these guys have been in championship, have played in championship games. Okay. Um, Now, Joel Embiid, while I'm happy that he played pretty good, he also has 6 turnovers. Okay, and so did and James Harden. Tyrese Maxey had 5 turnovers. He made some ill-advised decisions and everything, but he made up for it with his shot selection. Harden didn't shoot too bad at all. And from 3 pointers he shot 50%, but he could have he could have made smarter decisions in terms of the fouling. Man, you got to do better in terms of the fouling. Another guy that's not getting the credit is Danny Green. Danny Green hit some key shots down the stretch, even though he missed a layup, and then he also lost the ball too as well. Uh, that nearly cost us the game too as well. Okay. Um, but Tyrese Maxey is making a combination of Joel Embiid, Harden, and Doc Rivers look good. Okay, you said eventually Embiid is going to have to bang in that paint with another big boy, the 3 point. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, uh, well, you got the wrong mentality, Steven. I'm not gonna see. That's the problem. We want to sit here and we want to get comfortable playing a team that did not. They did. You. Hey, listen, Stephen Green. You do. What do you recognize? What do you recognize about the game? What 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 do you recognize about the game automatically, right? What do you recognize? It's a couple things. First and foremost, Thibault is not there. Okay, we don't have Thibault for playing in Toronto, and also to counteract that and match that. Guess what? They don't have um what's the name Barnes. You got to understand that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, my bad. They don't have Scotty Barnes. Okay, and so we can't. What I'm saying to you, Steven, what I'm saying to you, can you imagine if the team still had Steph and Drummond? Yeah, exactly. But see, and see, what's his name had? Well, Drummond didn't have such a good game last night. He was horrible on the boards. Al Horford is just doing circles around him. And Seth Curry, he played solid last night with the Brooklyn Nets. He had 16. But yes, that was our scoring punch, and that was our extra added of rebounding, as well as being able to take some of the pressure off of Embiid too. You know what I'm saying? Because this is another thing too. I don't want Embiid to wear down because he has a tendency to do that. He'll wear down, and then next thing you know, something will take place. Knocking on wood that doesn't take place. But whoever we play or whatever, listen. They Doc Rivers has got to recognize that Embiid and Maxey are the primary. Unfortunately, man, and I know some people they're excited about Harden and everything like that. He's got to be he's got to be the third or fourth option. Niang, listen, Niang been doing good. Niang, listen, Niang is is that guy, especially when you talk about on defense. He does a lot of intangibles that a lot of people don't appreciate. That's the same thing that I was saying about a guy like Tobias Harris. Listen, one could argue that our third option really can be Tobias Harris if you really want to keep it funky, because guess what? When when Harden is not doing his job like he's supposed to, guess what? Tobias Harris is there to fill that void. Grant Hill? Nah, think tank. uh-uh. They don't even play the same style, bruh. I disagree with you on that. You said Grant Hill? Nah, man. Al Horford, yeah, Al Horford. I like what he bring to the table, but Grant Hill was way better and could handle the rock, could distribute, do that sort of thing. He was one of the guys that recognized that body type. Nah, you man, Al Horford is 6'10", bro. You know that, right? Grant Hill was number 6'8", man. Health wise, well, nah, I don't. Well, I don't. I don't understand that logic though, think tank. But I don't understand that. But what's it called? Al Horford is beneficial even at his elder age or whatever. Now, Grant Hill was too. He still was able to finish off a luxurious career, even though although some people felt like it would have been better. Guys like Grant Hill and Anthony Hardaway, they got robbed. Well, Grant Hill, he ended up going to the Hall of Fame or whatever. But listen, everybody wants to sit here and give Embiid all this credit and all his just doing stuff like that. Yes, it's phenomenal, what he does and stuff. But let's look at the reason why the weight is being taken off of his shoulders. You got to deal with a guy like Maxey who could get to the bucket, who could pull up. I mean it. Well, no, not not really. I mean, okay, Harden, man, it's becoming more and more evident that he is more of a he needs somebody there, and he's more of a complimentary player, more so than the guy that can really lead the charge or whatever. If you really look at it last night, think tank, you could see that Maxey clearly wanted to smoke. He clearly wanted to smoke. He did not back down, and that was on offense as well as defense too. And I'm not. If I'm Doc Rivers, I'm keeping everything like it is. I recognize something. Listen, when Harden fouled out, everybody was panicking. I wasn't. I was like, Maxi loves these type of situations. Maxi is coming into his own right now. Now, what he will become, we don't know. But right now, he's certainly got a good upside. So you got to be able to use him. You got to be able to put him in these type of situations. Yeah, he brings the energy, man. And look, that's what we're talking about. That's what some of the brothers in the LWC are talking about right now, in terms of not needing just one guy to carry the league. We have a youth era, a youth movement that's happening. Think about all these young players that are coming up right now. Maxey, he's on the come up, regardless of what anybody want to say. Okay, you got a guy like Scotty Barnes who's not playing right now, but he's on the come up right now. You got a guy like John Morant, you know what I'm saying? Of course, he's sensational, been sensational. You got Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying? You got Who else? You got, even Brandon Ingram. He's still young. You know what I'm saying? Still doing his thing out there. You got uh even though Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, them guys right there, they're still young. All of these guys are showing, okay, hey, look, we could carry this thing, and that's why the ratings have been so high. But everybody think, oh well, LeBron. Nah, you don't just need one guy. You don't just need one guy, man. But yeah, Maxey definitely brings the energy. He's always gonna bring the energy. He's gonna keep going, and that's what you need. Like, look, a lot of coaches, they'll live with mistakes as long as you're bringing energy and effort, and that's what makes him so dangerous. But we got to have everybody on one accord. Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, you right on point when you say that. The super team era, man. That it's all about. Now you see how the way Boston plays, how they move the ball, how they share the ball, and it's not just running through two people. Matter of fact, to make this point even more superb, Stephen and Tank, check this out. I said this, and this is what I was telling Ticket. There was only one guy that wasn't in double figures with Boston, although they only they had only utilized eight guys or whatever, and that made it even better because they had eight guys in the rotation. Everybody, with the exception of Peyton Pritchard, was in double figures. That shows that everybody contributed. You said Embiid at some point has to get physical in the paint or jump shot. I told you, hey Steven, that's what Think Tank has said. We've been saying that the whole time. You got to mix it up. Embiid can get down on the block and kill a motherfucker. Let's not make no mistake about it. Yes, I'm glad that he's versatile. I'm glad that he could step out. I'm glad that he could miss a motherfucker out on the perimeter. I'm glad he can handle the rock. I'm glad he can do all that shit. But the thing about it is that what Embiid needs to do in a lot of situations, he needs to go down on that block and either punish a motherfucker or make him pay at the line too as well. And I believe Embiid. There's sometimes when he tries to get what I'm saying, his stats at the line and all that other stuff. But also I do really believe that he is making an effort to assert himself in terms of leaning on a motherfucker and wearing the guy down. You said Celtics versus Grizzlies would be an interesting with all on the line. They both had. Are you talking about as a finals think tank? Yeah, that would be something to see. But the question is, and unfortunately, I hate to put it like this: will the NBA allow it? Will the NBA allow it? It would be fun. It would be a lot of high flying up and down. Uh, okay, at the finals, okay. Will the NBA allow it though? Uh, they would probably allow it for the simple fact that regardless of what anybody wants to say, yes, John Morant is marketable. Okay, maybe he doesn't have like a bubbly personality or anything like that, but the guy is a winner and the guy has a mentality. But they would like it too because guess what? You have a storied franchise in the Boston Celtics. The NBA, that's what they were first marketing were the Boston Celtics. That's what when you talk about mafioso shit, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was Boston. Hey, matter of fact, if you're watching Winning Time, the docu series, you'll see that everybody dreaded. They dreaded going to Boston. What's up with it, Memphis? I see you in the building. Yeah, it seemed Embiid and Maxey are on the same page. Exactly. But we listen. The thing about it, Memphis 10, the people got to recognize. is that we beat Milwaukee without who? Without Harden. Yeah, and then I know people are, oh, that was regular season and everything. And then we also know another dynamic that I am going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Middleton. Don't worry about that. I'm going to talk about Middleton. That's something that we need to be talking about too. But I mean, yeah, it just all depends on what the NBA allow. Now, they've already allowed, um, the fact that okay, the Lakers aren't in here. Well, now you don't listen. They they're looking at it like this. Adam Silver's looking at it like this. Okay, well maybe it isn't so bad. Maybe maybe we could go ahead and we could carry this and everything. And they're looking at the numbers and stuff like that. Hey, that's what they're going to recognize. And then also, what's going to be tackled is all these guys that are sitting out and stuff like that. They're going to address it. Make no mistake about it. They are going to address it. And some of you may be for guys sitting out and oh yeah, taking time off and stuff like that. Oh, he's hurt, man. Leave him alone. And oh, like Ice Tray icing his knees and all this other bullshit. Nah, nah. Look, man. When you have a job, you're paid to do your job. And guess what? If you're not doing your job effectively, they're gonna fill that void. If you what you can't do, always remember this. Always remember this. And that's what I'm talking about. It goes back to Maxey. Okay. What Harden is unable to do, Maxey is able to do. Memphis, my 76ers bench is very strong. That's cap, Steven. We're not strong at all. We're not strong at all, man. Uh, Steven, bro, our bench is not strong at all, man. Yeah, our bench is nowhere near Miami. Our bench is nowhere near Miami. Our bench is nowhere near Miami. We're not even utilizing our bench that much. Listen, I put to you like this. Their bench outscored us, right? Stephen Green. They had 25, right? Guess with the combination of Reed, because Jordan didn't play, Milton and Niang. Guess how much our bench points were? 13. That's not a strong bench, man. That's not a strong bench. If you okay, if you have a strong bench, then your your bench should be looking like your bench should be looking like Boston, in which pretty much everybody on that on that squad was in double figures. Even hell, Brooklyn even had a stronger bench. If you want to be honest, and I know some of y'all don't want to hear that. I know y'all are like, oh man, come on now. Hey, it's the truth. But hey, listen, hey Steven, Brooklyn's bench, they scored um 26. Guess what Boston's bench was? They scored 30. And what's his name? Williams had 17, White had 3, and Pritchard had 10. That us only scoring just a little bit of a amount of points. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done, man. We could sit up here and we could live in this fantasy world that we're good just because we're up 3-0. I'm not celebrating this because I want to see how everything plays out. You got to stop being like, that's why, like, I'm not gonna trip about Phoenix losing Devin Booker, and me and the brother, Ticket, man, we got a different outlook on that. Listen, as long as if those guys step up, like them other players step up, and the people off the bench step up, and Monty Williams is bringing his coaching brilliance, they they got a shot, and they could actually win. I'm not saying you never know. It might be a blowout, maybe you never know. But they do need Book. They need their scoring punch. But my point is that with with the added scoring of a bench, it makes you that more man. It makes you that much more lethal. That's why Miami is so potent. Yeah, Steven. I mean, shoot. Look, Steven, bro. Be honest with yourself, okay? Be honest. Be honest. We're not in the top five in defense. Okay? Boston and Miami are both in the top five in defense. Let's go ahead and put that right there, okay? Right? We don't have we're not good in our bench scoring. Okay? Right? Miami is number one in their bench scoring. Okay? Miami is number one in their bench scoring. And don't forget that they got Tyler Hero, who's a six man of the year candidate. Okay, you know where we rank in bench scoring, Stephen Green. You know where we rank. We rank 28th. We rank 28th in bench scoring. So you know what that means, right? These were okay. Let me tell you some of the teams that had a better bench punch than us, Stephen Green. I'll name all of them. I'll name all of them for you right now. Okay, Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, Portland Trailblazers, Dallas Mavericks, New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, New Orleans Pelicans, Oklahoma City Thunder, Cleveland Cavaliers, Phoenix Suns, Atlanta Hawks, Charlotte Hornets, Indiana Pacers, Los Angeles Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Sacramento Kings, the Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors, Orlando Magic, Utah Jazz, Minnesota, Detroit Pistons, Memphis Grizzlies, Houston Rockets, Washington Wizards, San Antonio Spurs, LA Clippers, and Miami Heat. You see what I'm saying, Steven? No, we had teams that didn't even make the playoffs. They had a better bench than us. So if you take into account, because what wins playoff games, I say it time and time again, y'all know, defense and rebounding. And if you take a solid bench, that's just what what uh what Tick was saying about having a role player step up and stuff like that and bench. We got to have it, and that's why like I don't like the way Niang. That's why I disagree with Doc Rivers in the way that he's utilizing Niang. Matter of fact, if you want to be honest with you, one could argue that st- starting Niang would be very beneficial because we're not gonna we don't have Thibault. You say what you want. If we had Thibault, we would have been up by a tremendous amount of more, and we would have been able to sustain what we were doing. Our problem tends to be sustainability, Stephen. We cannot sustain the lead. Yeah, and see, we also have a problem with coming back too. Toronto, listen, Toronto was up. Toronto was up by well, they were up by 10, I think it was. Oh, 20. They was up by 20. Now, check this out though. No, they was up, I don't think they was up by that much. But guess when Embiid got all of his points, Stephen Green. Joel Embiid got all of his points in the third quarter. He scored 8. He started off slow than a motherfucker. He got all of his points pretty much in the third quarter. Yeah, but see, Steven, that's what I'm talking about. That's not a good thing. No, we gotta have the reason why. Listen, one of the reasons why Miami and teams like the Boston Celtics, they got guys off that bench that they can rely on. And be like, oh man, we don't have to worry about it because when you go out of the game, you don't want that team to take over. Look, we up by 10, and then Embiid gonna try to get some rest. This motherfucker can't rest. You know why? Because they gonna end up catching up. He can't get no rest, man. He can't depend on these other guys, to sustain the lead. And see in the playoffs, you got to be deep, and not even just so much on offense, especially on the defensive end. That's one of the reasons why, like, everybody tried to counter me talking about the Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan in the '96 finals argument. You can't try to counter me on that one because if it wasn't for Dennis Rodman, the Supersonics wouldn't have been in that series. And that's just one of the arguments that I could use as a reference in terms of being able to lean on multiple guys when you don't got it going. That's just like with the whole KD situation. You know, look, I like KD, but at the same token, hey, man, look, when you take KD away and you take away from his offense, what he's showing is that he can't be utilized. Just like everybody likes to get on Steph Curry about, oh, Steph Curry, if you take away the three and all this other stuff, he can't do this. It's the same thing with KD. That's what he's showing. But guess what? You take away Michael's scoring, right? Guess what? Hey, if you got Dennis Rodman there playing defense, guess who's going to be playing defense with him? Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen playing defense, guess who's going to be playing defense with him? Michael Jordan. And Jordan could have been shooting horrible. But see, that's what separates great players, man. Everything ain't gonna fall for you, and that's what I have a problem with James Harden. Look, you got your offense going. Your offense was going yesterday, but guess what? You ended up fouling out. And all that shows is that, okay, hey, look, these guys are faster than me. I can't keep up with these guys. These guys were blowing by me on the first step. So we could sit here and we could have live in this fantasy world like it's all Embiid or it's all Harden and everything like that. Maxey was getting it done in crucial minutes, crucial points of the game. Yes, Embiid. Yes, he hit the shot. That was a dagger in the heart. Yeah, but see, if you're not breaking down. Listen, not you, Steven, but I'm talking about everybody else. They're gonna give all this glory to Joel Embiid, not realizing that it was Maxey that was coming with the scoring punch. You got to realize who was our scoring punches that were coming besides Embiid in the first and second quarter. Let that sink in. Embiid didn't score that much in the first and second. He started off slow. Now we were getting robbed. I mean, we got a lot of calls. I know. And Steven, did you see that block that Embiid had? I mean, because Embiid was playing defense. I give Embiid that. He was being a monster on defense. He was being very aggressive. I like the way Embiid is moving. But they called a foul on that block, which was bullshit. Now that foul, which caused Harden to get out of the game, that was a foul, and it was a stupid foul. He clearly, you could see that foul on the replay. But see, Maxey been doing this the whole entire season. There ain't nothing new that Maxey has not been doing. When Maxey didn't when Maxey didn't have his players, or when he didn't have his pieces, guess what? Maxey was showing up. When we were shorthanded, guess what? It was Maxey and Tobias Harris that were showing up. And everybody talks all this, oh yeah, well, he's growing up before man, Maxey's been good. I've been telling people about Maxey. Go look at my videos, man. If you choose to do it. We can't play like the verse. We step up. Bam is a monster in the paint. Exactly. He's mobile. He's athletic. He can move. He could jump. You think Bam is just gonna let uh Embiid have his way? No. Embiid, he might get his buckets and everything like that. But Miami is, they got a swarm of defenders too. Miami ranks number 5 in defensive efficiency, Steven. They rank number 5. What's up with it? What's up with it, Matt? Yeah, he's MVP. He might be MVP in your eyes, but not in my eyes. Listen, he takes the weight off. Listen, Maxey takes the weight off of Embiid's shoulders. Did you ever think about that, Matt? I mean, look, that's the same thing with Kevin Durant. That's always been the knock on a guy like KD. Look, he's great and he's tremendous. He's skilled and stuff like that. But when you have guys that can take the weight off of your shoulders, think about it, Matt. He got all of his points in the third quarter, and then Maxey was our scoring punch. Tobias Harris was our scoring punch. James Harden was to a lot of extent was our scoring punch. He did some facilitating, but I mean he also had 6 turnovers, Matt. Okay, y'all guys are looking at oh yeah, oh man, heroics. Hey, yeah, exactly. Listen, an MVP in my eyes is being able to sustain. Listen, Maxi, he had quite a few turnovers. Okay, I will give him that. He had more turnovers than Harden. But guess what? Harden fouled out. Harden fouled out. Okay, but Jokic is still my MVP. Jokic has done more with less, but he is getting exposed right now. That's what I was trying to tell everybody, tell to you earlier. He's getting exposed right now. Uh, you got to go and you got to go look at the game, Matt. Look at Jokic in a situation where they're trying to bring him out, like when they try to bring him out on the perimeter. Now, if you want to look at it from that standpoint about Embiid being an MVP last night, Embiid was being very mobile, and that's what I can look at. I could probably give you that, Matt, because Embiid was moving out on the perimeter. He was blocking shots. Bullshit foul that they called against him. But I still got Jokic MVP because he's been showing up against teams in the season. But he's got to get it together, man. I mean I know people that they're saying he's short-handed and stuff like that. But hey, they wouldn't be giving anybody any other pass if the situation if the shoe was on another superstar's foot. You know, Tyrese Maxey, he makes Doc look good. He makes Doc look really, really good, even though Doc coached a hell of a ball game yesterday. He did. I didn't. Now I don't understand why he's not utilizing Niang more. But overall, man, Doc, I felt like Doc did better than what he was supposed to. We got a lot of calls that didn't go our way, but I know some people are a little bit saddened right now because the Lakers aren't in it and all this other stuff, and they don't have LeBron to talk about and stuff like that. But me, I'm not worried about it. Everybody's way of thinking in terms of basketball seems like right now, especially when you go a lot on YouTube, it's so one dimensional. It's not even funny. But we'll see how everything plays out, man. Uh, Most likely, we're gonna go ahead and get this gentleman sweep. Uh, we took care of business on their floor. We stole a game, which what we were supposed to do. Uh, and I think going forward, Doc Rivers needs to recognize this. Doc Rivers needs to understand that it's the offense needs to be ran more through Maxey. It's only LeBron James. A lot of people see. Well, hey, listen, basketball. Hey, I put to you like this, Mike, and salute to you. Basketball was here before LeBron, and it's gonna be here after LeBron. Basketball was here before Michael Jordan. It was gonna be here after Michael Jordan. Okay, you got to think about it. One of the biggest recoveries that they had to find was a replacement for Jordan. Okay, listen, when Jordan was making his way out of the league, I mean, people that I mean, don't get me wrong, man. People were watching it or whatever, but yeah, the average person they'd be like, "Oh, well, I only watched it because Michael Jordan was playing, or I only watched it because Jordan was playing." Da 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 da. But then you started seeing an influx of all these different players that were coming in. Of course, they're better this year. What's up with it, True Viking Queen? I see you in the building. Of course, they're better this year. The ratings show it. The ratings are through the roof. Shout out to Too Raw for TV for putting people on game about that. The ratings are through the roof. The ratings are better than last year. But people always want to push this narrative that, oh well, the league won't survive without LeBron, and the league needs the Lakers and all this other stuff. Man, no. Listen, people want parity. I keep preaching that all the time. People want parity. There are some teams of some other fans that would like to see their team at least go far so they could have something to cheer about. Did you ever think about that? But it's just like when Mayweather retired from boxing. Okay, people were under the assumption that you know boxing wasn't going to survive. No, that wasn't true. You know, and I understand that people want a person that they could they could cheer against. People want to like a lot of people that watch LeBron. Believe it or not, they're not rooting for LeBron. A lot of people are rooting rooting against him. They're rooting for the man to fail. And it's sad. Even when Jordan was playing, there were a lot of people that were rooting for Jordan to fail. But then when he retires, then guess what? It's like, damn, I don't have nobody to root against anymore. It's the same thing. Shoot, with man, who else? I'm trying to think of some other guy like with Kobe. They wanted somebody that they could root against. Even with Larry Bird, they wanted somebody that they could root against. Larry Bird was the villain. Magic Johnson was considered, the Superman, the hero, and all that. Detroit Pistons, they were the villain. Michael Jordan was Superman, but then after he arose and everything, then Michael Jordan, became the villain. And they wanted to see Michael Jordan get knocked off. A lot of people were celebrating and cheering when Michael Jordan had lost to Orlando. It was like Orlando. You would have thought Orlando won the championship. But what happened? He came back the very next year. It's stuff like that. So, you know, like LeBron, in LeBron's case, people are rooting for him. People are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm so glad this guy is gone." Man, I'm glad we ain't got to talk about LeBron no more and all this other stuff. I mean, I agree with that. Look, it gets exhausting talking about just one daggone team, one daggone player all the daggone time. And people get offended when I say that, but it's the truth, man. Why we got to talk about the same thing? Look, man, the reason why you watch sports is for variety. It's for versatility. It's for parity. That's the reason why you watch it. But nah, I want to see one player. I want to see one guy. Not me. I want to talk about some of these people that's not being talked about. That's why, like, everybody talks about Embiid, Embiid, Embiid. Yeah, Embiid, phenomenal player. But you're not looking at some of the important things that some of these other guys are doing. Oh yeah, 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 man. He put up points. He did this. He did that. Man, some people don't even want to talk to you again because you don't agree with them. Man, shit. Oh well, that's on you. That's on you. I can care less. All I know is that I'm standing on what I say. And what I'm saying is that if it was not for Tyrese Maxey, we wouldn't have had no chance. We wouldn't have had no chance. Everybody want to sit up here and crown an MVP and stuff like that, man. Look, we was in this position last year. Okay, we were the number one seed. Ended up going to the second round, and guess what? Ended up losing, and we lost to a team that we really honestly weren't supposed to. We lost to a surprise team. We weren't supposed to lose to them in Atlanta. So now the expectations are even higher. Now look, man, you got Harden. Whether he's becoming a shell of himself or he's aging before our eyes, whatever, he's still over there. He's still over there, and there's no excuses. There are no excuses at all. I'm not giving. I don't. Just like I'm not giving a whole lot of passes to Luca and to Jokic and all these other players. I'm definitely not gonna give no passes to Embiid because you got a young, flourishing guard that could get you buckets from the 3 point or from the mid range or driving to the basket. Don't matter. He could do it all, and on top of that, he got energy and he's bringing you hustle. So you pretty much got everything that you wanted. But you sitting up in here and you're willing to settle for Harden. But Harden is a roller coaster. You never know when he's gonna show up and not show up. It's just like last night when it came with Kyrie. He didn't show up. Everybody gets, hey, KD, yeah, he got the smoke, but Kyrie got to get the smoke too. He got to get that damn smoke because he shot horrible, and on top of that, he had a lot of turnovers. I mean, I commend him, for making an effort, on defense and all that other stuff, but you still got to show up. And if offense is what you do, then that's fine. But with everything that Ama Udoka is throwing at him, It's going to be impossible for them to crawl back into the series. Not unless they, listen. The pressure is on them. They're figuring everything out. I'm I'm disappointed. You mean we probably been disappointed? Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to be. Listen, you have to understand something, Mike. When it comes to playoff basketball, there are some things, man, that play in your favor. One of the things, of course, is defensive rebounding, which I've already mentioned. Another thing is continuity and chemistry. You got to understand that Boston had went through a lot last season. They had a ton of injuries. They had a ton of people that were hurt. They got people hurt this year. When we talk about Robert Williams, now they got all their horses back. They done been through the fire before. They done been through the trials and tribulations before. They done lost together and they won together, right? Um, but Brad Stevens, as good a coach as he wasn't bringing out what Ima Udoka is bringing out in the personnel that he got. So you could be disappointed in Brooklyn all you want to. Listen, you take away your two biggest scoring options in KD and Kyrie. Guess what? What do you got left? You got to depend on Seth Curry. You got to depend on Gordon Dragic, and you got to depend on Bruce Brown or Doodle Brown, aka Doodle Brown. And they was they was pretty much they scoring punch besides well with an inefficient KD. Ima Udoka is listen. I'm gonna say it again. He's a coaching mind, and he comes from the school of pop. We can sit up here and act like oh it's just they're not playing good and all this other stuff. No, it's about strategy. I'm not disappointed. This is listen. How you gonna respond? How is KD gonna respond? Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna play better? How's Kyrie gonna respond? Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna play better? Even Andre Drummond, is he gonna come back? Is he gonna play better? We could be disappointed all day, but disappointed ain't gonna get you wins. Look, man, look. Sitting down with your head down and all this other stuff. Man, you think Jordan wasn't pissed off when he shot like below 40% sometimes? Nah, he came back and he responded. And if he wasn't playing good that very next game, guess what? He did other things to help. That's the same thing with when Jordan was playing against the Knicks in the 90s. He had some offensive struggles, and I keep hating. Okay, I'll use somebody else, like Kobe Bryant. He had some horrible shooting performances, but guess what? You couldn't fault the man's effort on defense. You can't fault the you know this league now, man, is excuse driven, and I'm not gonna make all these excuses for KD anymore. Oh well, he don't have this person. Don't bring up Ben Simmons either. Oh well, they don't have Ben Simmons and all this other stuff. Look, they're gonna use every type of thing once they start winning. Look, Giannis ain't got Middleton for the time being. You think he's sitting there crying all this other stuff? Nah, he gotta go out there and play. Still gotta get done. Hey, Phoenix, they ain't got Devin Booker. Guess what, man? Still gotta go out there. You still gotta play. Still gotta go out there. You still gotta play, man. And everybody could, try to bring up all these numbers and all that other stuff. Look, all them numbers and stuff like that, man, they go out the window once he hoists that trophy. I'm pretty sure. What's up, Philly? Philadelphia better not pay James Harden max money because y'all don't need it. Well, hey, look, Lou. Like I said, man, they're not gonna throw him a big bag because they're figuring out that he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's not what they thought that they were gonna be getting. But listen, hey, Lou, me, you, other brothers in the LGBT, we know what we knew what Philly was gonna get. Now, what do they want to do, Lou? They want to sit up there and they want to try to take all of the brothers' talking points. They want to try to take all of our spins and all of our takes and stuff like that. Well, we've been telling people about Harden for a long ass time. Now the media want to start trying to drive the narrative home. Oh yeah, well, look at this, man. Harden, man, he this and he that. Nah, motherfucker, we've been telling y'all that for I don't know how long. But y'all got a nerve enough. Now look, I'm not gonna get on Harden too much today. Only thing I don't like is the fact that he fouled out. You know what I'm saying? He made an ill-advised foul. Other than that, he was solid for the most part. He shot pretty good. He shot 50% from three. So and he had a decent game up until fell out, and he only had three turnovers. So I give credit to what credit due. But you gotta be consistent every game. You gotta be able to. You can't be a roller coaster like Kyrie. Can't be a roller coaster. Can't be a roller coaster. You can't be 1 minute up, 1 minute down. Same thing with DeMar DeRozan. And DeMar DeRozan had came through. You said Milwaukee better be lucky they not down 0-2 because my boys they won. Well, listen, we're gonna have to see how they do without Middleton. You gotta see what they do without Middleton, now, Lou. I mean, we talking about an MCL, Lou. Hey, and I got some uh, I got some breaking news. I'll be back at y'all in a minute, okay? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. Make sure y'all pull up. I'm gonna holler at y'all.